On a quiet Tuesday morning in Hillcrest, everything seemed normal at Hillcrest Enterprises, a small but successful accounting firm. The office buzzed with the usual sounds of computers clicking, phones ringing, and soft chatter between colleagues. Among the employees was Franklin Black, a seemingly ordinary office manager who had been with the company for years. Franklin was reliable, hardworking, and, to most, a trusted figure within the office. However, Franklin had no idea that the day would take a shocking turn, one that would leave the entire town in disbelief. As the morning unfolded, two masked men infiltrated the office building. Disguised as an ordinary janitor and a hoodie-wearing figure, they moved through the halls without suspicion. Megan Saunders, an office assistant, was their inside connection. Megan had been with Hillcrest Enterprises for years, and no one ever questioned her loyalty. But what they didn't know was that Megan had been planning a robbery for months, feeding information to the robbers and helping them gather crucial details about the office's security, the location of the safe, and the schedules of the higher-ups. That morning, as the robbers made their way to the safe, Megan kept a lookout. She knew everything about the company's layout, including the times when security was least attentive. Megan's involvement wasn't random, she had an ulterior motive. She had been promised a promotion by Mr. Thompson, the boss, only for that promise to be broken. Hurt and angry, she decided to take matters into her own hands. The robbers made their way to the safe, undisturbed. They began cracking it open as Megan stood guard, her heart racing. The quiet sound of the safe opening was a signal that her plan was coming to fruition. But unbeknownst to the robbers, Megan had already tipped off the police. Detective John Harris, her ex-boyfriend, was already in on the plan. Megan's scheme wasn't just about the money. It was a personal vendetta against a man who had promised her a better future, only to crush her dreams. As the robbers filled their bags with cash, they were unaware that the police were closing in. Megan had orchestrated the perfect crime, but as it all unfolded, she would soon realize that her betrayal was about to catch up with her. The police stormed the office just as the robbers were leaving. They apprehended them without a struggle, and it seemed like Megan's plan had succeeded. But when the police turned their attention to Megan, things took an unexpected turn. They arrested her for conspiracy, and the truth of her betrayal was revealed. Franklin, who had been blissfully unaware of the scheme, was left stunned and heartbroken. The woman he had trusted for so long was behind the robbery, manipulating everyone around her to exact her revenge. Megan's plan had been well thought out, but her arrogance in believing she could get away with it ultimately led to her downfall. In the days that followed, the investigation revealed the full extent of Megan's involvement. She had been secretly in contact with the robbers for months, feeding them information and ensuring the heist would go off without a hitch. Her anger and bitterness had fueled her actions, and now she would have to face the consequences of her betrayal. Hillcrest Enterprises would never be the same. The robbery had shaken the company to its core, and employees found it difficult to trust anyone again. Megan's arrest sent shockwaves through the office, leaving behind a trail of broken relationships and shattered trust. For Franklin, the betrayal was the hardest part. He had never suspected that Megan, someone he had worked alongside for years, could be capable of such a thing. The damage done to the company, the emotional toll on everyone involved, and the shattered sense of security would take time to heal. But the story didn't end there. The robbers, caught and arrested, were sentenced to years in prison. Megan, facing charges of conspiracy, was also sent to jail, her carefully constructed life crumbling in front of her. The fallout from the robbery was more than just financial. It raised important questions about trust, loyalty, and how well we truly know those around us. Betrayal, even from someone so close, can come from the most unexpected places, and Megan's actions serve as a reminder that sometimes, those we trust the most are the ones who can hurt us the deepest.